Well, I got Malachi out here helping me, and we are starting to get this thing hooked up here. Our main manifold or trunk or main line, whatever you want to call it, is 3-inch, and then we go down to 1.5 inches, the black that runs down the road. So every 25 foot we just poke a hole with this tool right here, and these little fittings just pop right into this oval hose, same style oval hose we use to feed our drip system. This is a pretty unique sprinkler design. Basically it's just if you took the wobbler portion off, it would just be like a sprayer, because that's really all it does, is spray a needle stream of water straight out of that purple nozzle. And the output of these sprinklers based on the color of that nozzle. These are the lavender. I can't remember what the output of them is supposed to be, but I should be able to water 2 acres at one time. And this just sits here and wobbles around on top and basically makes it rain. And this is what I was talking about. This is designed to be universal. It's got threads in here, so you can screw it on a 1/2 inch pipe thread. You can slide it onto a 3/4 PVC, or you can put a 1/4 inch rod or 5/16 rod up in it. And these little risers just plug in. They also make this system where you can get a riser that screws into the white netafim, which would probably be a pretty good way to go. That's what we're doing here, is putting one of these every 25 foot, go over 10 rows, and do it again all the way to the end. Not sure exactly how many is going to be out here. And by doing it this way, this is going to leave my options open for frost protecting with overhead irrigation. I don't know that I want to go that route because I've never done it before, so it makes me a little bit nervous. Can't afford to mess up a crop of strawberries, but I'm going to have that option available if for some reason I need it. This overhead system is something that Rainflow up in Pennsylvania designed for me, and they figured it all up as far as flow and everything. So I'm no expert on pressure drop, friction loss, and all that stuff, but they are. And these are the little fittings that they made me for in between. That one down yonder has just got an elbow on it, but the ones in the middle look like this. So you got that 3-inch main line running through and an 1.5 inch stub out. And a pro tip on these, that's good, bud. Pro tip for you on the worm gear hose clamps: tighten them up. If you got a low torque impact, it'll be fine, or maybe a drill with a clutch. But if you don't, and you're just using an impact, do not try to tighten them with like a DeWalt impact, because it'll strip them out in a skinny minute. We always run them down, snug them up with impact, and then we take a ratchet and a 5/16 socket. That's good, buddy, because them things are easy to strip. Once they strip, they are trash, and they're not cheap. And if you don't get them tight enough, they'll leak though. So that's a good, safe way of doing it. Alright, y'all, I got another unorthodox and possibly frowned upon hot tip for you. PB Blaster WD-40. I think actually WD-40 works a little bit better, but PB Blaster is what I got. 2-inch lay flat usually ain't no problem to put together, but when you get above 2-inch, it's a son of a gun. So a little bit of lubrication goes a long way to getting this stuff on the fittings. And usually you'll get to a point and it'll get stuck like this. Well, that ain't far enough. So before I started, I cut a little slit in my hose, both sides. Purpose for that, so I can get some vice grips on it. if you can get these vice grips on there. Oh, that's never happened before. The very first time that's ever happened to me, I was trying to make a video about how good it worked. This stuff can really be a bugaboo. Alright, there we go. So if you're not familiar with trying to hook up a large lay flat, you saw how difficult that was after I sprayed it with PB Blaster. You can imagine how difficult it is if you don't lubricate it. Well, this is the very next one I put on. Y'all want to see the stupidest thing I've seen today? What's missing right here in this picture? Yep, that's supposed to be on here before you fight and cuss that hose onto the fitting. So now I get to take it back off. So right here is where the aluminum comes up from the creek, and I wasn't really aiming on getting it this close to the road, but you got to work in 30-foot increments, so it is what it is. We're going to elbow out of this, hook on, and then I've got a flex coupling. This orange is, I think they call it extreme high pressure lay flat. It's kind of hard to do one-handed, but put that back on the golf cart, please. So we're coming out of the aluminum to the orange. Got a gate valve here that I can dial my pressure back if I need to. We're going to go into this 4-inch lay flat, and I had to kind of come up with a little bit of a jerry rig here because I had to figure a way to go from 3 to 4. I thought I had a coupler, but I don't. So what we're going to do, I do have this 4-inch coupler next down to 2-inch, and I've got this laying around. I think it came off a set of sand filters. 2-inch male pipe thread to 3-inch barb, which is precisely what we need. So we'll screw this little cam lock off, screw that in here, and couple all this together coming out of this fitting, and we should be ready to sling some water here in a minute. I'm thinking I may have to finish this up in the morning. It's about to get dark on me. I'm gonna sling some water tonight, but it's kind of hard to make a video when it's dark outside. Making it rain out here. If it wasn't foggy, you could see it a whole lot better. I've got a couple stopped up here and there. I did not flush that aluminum pipe that's been laying in the edge of the woods for a year, and that wasn't very smart. So probably sent a rat nest and maybe some pinkies up the line, and that's probably why I've got a couple stopped up here and there. But it's not a big enough issue to go out there and get drowned at 6:45 this morning. So it's a lot different style of overhead versus your standard impact sprinklers that we're all used to seeing. And the good thing, I guess there's pros and cons, but one of the big things is you're getting less volume, which I guess could be a con, but also, if you're using it for frost protecting, or if you're watering a crop like lettuce or something, you're really trying to be gentle with and not beat it to death, this is a pretty good way to go, because this is about as close to rain as you can get. or impact sprinkler, you have a lot of one gush of water after the next. But it's worked out pretty good. We got some more to install today, and we got a little geyser up here spraying out in the road where a mouse bit a hole in my lay flat. We're getting the ones that are already planted a little sip this morning before we get on to the other half of the field over here. I'll show you one more cool thing about all of these parts for this Wobbler sprinkler. These are the Xcel Wobblers. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's Senegar that makes these, but it's pretty neat how it's all modular. Like, you could take this same wobbler, it'll run upside down or right side up, either way. This threads in, just regular old pipe threads into this fit, and everything about it is modular. These are your standard push-in risers like you would use in your greenhouse for drops, for sprinklers, or drip, either one. And it goes down to this little fitting. Sorry about the sun, it's a crappy time of day to be filming, but I can't get it out with one hand. But this fitting is separate from the portion that pops into the oval hose. So these just plug straight in to the base of the sprinkler and the hose. So everything here is modular. When we get ready to take these up in the spring, we will just disconnect this oval hose from the blue lay flat, leave the T's in all the blue lay flat, roll it up, roll the oval hose up, get the sprinkler rods up in the sprinklers, and then the risers going to the sprinklers. But it's a pretty good system, and you saw how it just really makes it rain out here instead of a whole bunch of water. It's pretty even distribution. We've got about, I think there's 13 sprinklers per row. We've got 5 runs of sprinklers. So we've got about 65 sprinklers out here that are watering just a little under 2 acres of strawberries. So it takes more than it would with this your standard aluminum solid set, but we got a lot more uniformity, and hopefully we'll see if I get brave enough, we may attempt to frost protect with these, so we'll see how that goes. But for right now, if nothing else, it's getting our strawberry plants off to a much better start. I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you learned something. If this video was helpful, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. If there's anything that I didn't answer, feel free to drop it in the comments, and I'll try to if I've got an answer. I'll see you on the next one.